Say this. Say, we are live. Say
we're
it.
live.
We are live.
Awesome.
Now, here, say this. Say, welcome back to Roll Radio. No? Come on, say it. No? It's easy. Welcome back to Roll Radio.
I don't wanna.
No? Say this is the takeaway with Gianni Grippo. Gianni Grippo. Is that hard to say?
Yeah.
Gianni Grippo?
I can't say it.
You can't? Okay. All right. I'm going to talk to Thomas then some more. All right. Say bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Roll Radio.
And we are live, Gary.
Yes, we are. Here we go again.
There we go. Gianni Grippo. What an
yeah.
episode.
Gianni. I know it's hard for you.
Grippo.
I know it's hard.
I'm foreign.
Yeah, I know. That's nothing wrong with that. It's just you have pronunciation problems.
Yeah,
that's
problems.
And it's got nothing to do with you being foreign. I think it's got more with being choked out.
That's our takeaway for today.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with being foreign.
No, there you go. Nothing wrong with it at all.
Listen, we talked to Gianni.
Yes.
I've known Gianni for years now. I remember watching videos of him competing as a brown belt, and what a well-accomplished competitor.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly has made waves in the competition scene, but also interesting to listen to him talk about the supportive network that he had behind him to really achieve these goals, right? And this, we kind of wrapping this up in the umbrella of family. The takeaway for the episode is family, right? The supportive network behind you to make you successful, whether you're a competitor in jiu-jitsu, a chess player, or swimmer, or even just a businessman or family man, doesn't matter. The support network is critical to your success. And I feel this has all really started very, very early on for him.
Yeah,
from his parents.
As a little kid, he had a dad that was a triathlete, and wanted to instill in Gianni a sense of like a work ethic, and give him opportunities to better himself through sport. And he didn't just push him into it; he really did support him. Through taking him where he needed to be, to his practices, his meets, later private jiu-jitsu classes, driving him into Manhattan during rush hour, and mom too, really supporting him when he found, and he didn't even know it yet, when his parents saw the passion for jiu-jitsu inside him, right? And he had huge support from his.
Yeah,
from
I
his
mean, it's
parents.
pretty clear as you listen to his story that he was very fortunate. It still is very fortunate to have that kind of start to something that he does for a living right now, right? And it all kind of sources from, like you said, his dad being an athlete, a triathlete, and doing competition, and his mom extremely involved in this whole, not only with his dad's performances or competitions, but also in Gianni's case, they take him places and so on. But I think what was really mind-blowing for me is that when I asked him did you feel forced into it? His answer was no. It's just, this is kind of what we did. This was our life. And, if you didn't listen to the episode, do it, because he talks about it in great detail. One of the things that he mentions that, he went to swim practices for 2 hours first thing in the morning. Then he went to train at private lessons. And then he went to school. And then he was doing homework in the car with a flashlight in order for him to get to bed so he can do it over again. And that was his daily routine 5 times a week. Now, that sounds pretty extreme to me, but yet he didn't feel that way. I feel like
it was normal for him. So,
right.
So all is what your experience is. And it sounded like it because he had passion for it, and he was a good athlete. And something he talked about too, though, is that um, they didn't pressure him for results as long as he was trying, right? As long as he was trying, and working hard, they were okay with that. And that probably has a huge impact on a kid, because you don't have um, the negativity that comes with a parent who is freaking out because you're losing.
Not only losing, but pushing a child into these situations of unreasonable expectations. Do this, do that, do that. And I mean, we are all very familiar with the sideline parents coaching.
Yeah.
And I think there's a slightly separate topic on all of this, but yet it's so related to it, because being supportive is one thing, but pushing your child with very unreasonable expectations, it's completely different. And both of them will have a very different result on that child's performance and also on their later life.
Yeah,
Like,
for
I mean,
sure.
we are talking about developing brains. We are talking about developing bodies. You are 8, 10, 12, whatever it is. You're just maturing. You're just starting. All these
Yeah.
things have huge impact on who you are going to be later on in your life, 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, and so on, right? And he talks about it quite extensively, how that had impact on his work ethic. He's not afraid to work hard. Matter of fact,
Obviously, yeah.
at the end of the episode, what was he saying? 3-hour sessions, and then break, and then another 2-hour sessions.
Well, yeah, when he was
every day.
running the competition crew, he would said no problem doing a 3-hour session, and people hated him for it. But right now, he's with a small group of people that he really trusts, and under our current circumstances, and yeah, they train in the morning, they take a little break, they come back in the late morning, early afternoon, train again, and then the people who couldn't make those morning sessions because they have 9 to 5s or whatever, they're all back there again at night, at working hard, and he's at all three, and he loves it, and that's probably, he's probably got something. His dad wasn't just a weekend warrior. He was going to the highest level triathlons, so he's probably got something a little genetic in him too that makes him that way. But yeah, it was all, I think, with guidance, rather than a real hard push. It's we're gonna help you through all this. We're gonna get you where you need to be. We're gonna do what we can for you as long as you're putting in the effort. We'll keep doing it. And then he got to, he's going to one of the biggest gyms, most popular gyms with some of the biggest names. As a kid, he's one of the only kids, or if not the only kid there, taking private lessons from the biggest names in jiu-jitsu. And he's got support there as well. I don't think that happens very often for people. And then, he spent a ton of time at Henzo's, and then, had different goals, different mindset as to what he wanted for his future, and needed, I think, to find support someplace else. We're not bad mouthing anybody. It's just that sometimes gyms don't fit anymore. And he needed to find something else.
Well, Steve Cohen recently talked about this, right? And I mentioned this on the show, but every instructor, every coach, every facility have its limitations. And sometimes it's not the skill, but the culture, maybe the dynamic. Maybe it is a skill. Maybe it's the curriculum. Maybe it's the hours or schedule. I mean, we see that more very often. I would like to be here, but your classes are not at a time when I'm available. And it is what it is. It's in order for people to train, whether it's jiu-jitsu or swimming or chess or checkers, whatever, it has to be, in a way, perfect storm. The things have to align, in a way where they work for that individual, right? And then we have to make some sacrifices. We have to make time. We have to make it a priority. But also, we have to feel welcomed, and we have to feel that this fits in with what we are trying to achieve. And I think, for me personally, looking at this from the other side, as an instructor, as a business owner, sometimes is difficult to find yourself in these positions where people are just not as transparent as you wish they would be. And I can honestly tell you, I wish students came to me and say, listen, I just don't like this. I wish this was different. And maybe I can't do anything about it, but at least I have a awareness point where I can make adjustments for the future. Or maybe I can point you out in a direction where your needs are going to be met. Maybe there is a different place that I know that is going to fulfill what you need. And it's unfortunate that sometimes these communications don't take place, and sometimes people make different choices and feelings get hurt. That's what sucks about this.
Yeah, well, I think the feelings get hurt on both sides. The people that may be seeking out something different, the feelings are hurt because they're not getting the support they need, and then the opposite end, maybe it's more of an ego thing, but the feelings get hurt because it's like, well, I've already invested so much in you. Why aren't you grateful for that? And I think people need to look at things a different way and think about, if I'm really here for you, yeah, I have for months, years, maybe put in time and effort and did what I thought was supporting you. But maybe, take some time to reflect and say, you know what, I did, but that's as much as I can do. And there's no reason that you can't go someplace else to get what you need to keep pushing forward, whether it's in Gianni's case or anybody else's. It's not strictly jiu-jitsu we're talking about. It could be employment of any level at any, in any industry. It's like, sometimes it's just time, it's not, and I need to move on for my own reasonings. But yeah, if you are honest about it and open about it, things could probably go more smoothly and everybody can learn from it, right?
I wish people had a little bit more open communication in these situations and simply talked. Maybe they're not able to resolve the problems, but they are definitely could communicate
You don't have to.
and talk to each other, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really referring to talking, like phone at the least, phone conversation. I said this on the show. Like, I think texting is very powerful these days, or social media, but that's just not.
Well,
the
it's
way.
open to a lot of interpretation.
It's not the way to do this.
Right. No, and right. One, it's not the way. But two, like I said, it's open to interpretation. I can read a sentence very differently than the person next to me and perceive it in a different way. Yeah. So talk to people. I've been employed in my life, one place in particular where I've left and come back at least 3 times. And why did they welcome me back? It wasn't because I said, hey, I'm giving you 2 weeks notice, and when my time came, I left. It was because I said, this is why I'm leaving. I hate to do it, but I've got to go and I've got to try these other things, and I'm doing this or that. And I have great relationship with these people. And which, since we're talking about this, I wanted to let you know I'm going to have to quit.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm sorry to do it here where everybody can hear us, but I got to go. No, but I think, that openness, being frank, being honest,
so the $1 million question is
how you feel.
Well, but the $1 million question is why people don't do it.
Well, you could be scared.
Right.
We already talked about feelings being hurt, right? If I'm doing it because you're not giving me the support, rejection? I think, well, sure. But if I'm leaving something because I don't feel supported anymore, initially I might feel slighted. I might, so now I have resentment, right? So you don't openly communicate about it. And on the flip side, it's kind of the same thing. Like I just said, I've already spent X amount of time on you or with you, supporting you, and now you don't, you're not paying it back. You're going somewhere else. But I think if you realize, if the person approaches it correctly, and the other person says, well, this is all I can do for you, I can't give you any more than this for whatever reason. And in a jiu-jitsu context, it's because we have other priorities at this school. We're not a competition school, or we are a competition school. So I can't spend X amount of time with you if you're not going to compete. All those things play into it. I really think it's got a lot to do with ego. And if we could get rid of that and just be more open with each other, I think things would go a lot more smoothly.
Yeah, I really hope that as time goes on and as jiu-jitsu continue evolving, we'll have more of these open communications and really people, obviously I'm not right now, COVID is a unique situation where cross training and training at different places is not so allowed, but I think that's something that should be supported. It's something that should be welcomed.
Yeah.
We are here, all of us, with a one simple goal: to get better and learn a skill of jiu-jitsu. And if it so happens we make friends along the way, then great, we succeeded. So I personally don't see anything wrong with people training at different places. I personally don't see anything wrong as long as it's done within the guidelines. So let's make sure there's that, because we entering this kind of ethical boundary of who's
Yeah, I think
where
we're
and
and I think
teams
we're
and other
getting
things, and we're getting kind of sidetracked off the topic.
Yeah,
But
off
the
topic.
point is what I'm trying to say is it all starts with a simple communication. It all starts with a simple conversation. So for crying out loud, talk to each other, all of you.
Okay, can we
Gary.
be done talking to each other right now, please?
First of all, you quit already, so
I did
why are you
quit.
still here?
Because you're running the meeting. So until you leave I'm staying right here.
Listen, if it ever crossed your mind to change a gym or something is bothering you, you are not happy where you're training with your partners or your coaches, talk to somebody. I bet you that you can fix the problem much simpler than just disappearing, fading out, and perhaps even quitting.
Yeah.
That would be
And
crazy.
And it could be, it could be done with a handshake and a pat on the back, and everybody could be happy with the results. So cool. All right.
Let's wrap this up.
Yes, sir.
Off to the next one.
All right. I was just joking. I'll see you soon.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.